गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल। यस, वी आर स्टार्टिंग नाउ। हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं आज का सेशन एंड थैंक यू अगेन फॉर ज्वाइनिंग ऑल ऑफ यू। आज एक काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन है। अगर आप आयुर्वेदा के प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिशनर हैं, आप एक बीएमएस डिग्री होल्डर हैं एंड आप आयुर्वेदा की प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, और उसके साथ साथ अगर आप एलोपैथिक की भी प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, इंटीग्रेटेड कर रहे हैं अपने स्टेट बॉडी के अंडर अप्रूव्ड सिनेरियोज में, सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, आपको कुछ आज बातें समझनी है। So we are just starting the session in a minute. Just give us a minute and we'll be starting the session um, to have a detailed discussion about the guidelines, the regulations, by regulations, because these are like draft, and after the finalization, we all are like we all are supposed to follow that. If we are not following, there can be legal actions against us till the extent of permanent suspension of our registration and license to practice. So let's take this a bit serious. इसको थोड़ा seriously लेते हैं सेशन को, समझते हैं. We respect both bodies. It's not that maybe some people were asking, so we don't want to go in that direction. We fully respect, हम पूरी respect करते हैं NMC, National Medical Commission, and NCISM, that is National Commission of Indian System of Medicine की, and we really appreciate that both bodies have taken some steps, and they have come up with these guidelines and these regulations. But let's understand quickly what exactly the impact it will have on our practice, which we need to understand, because that is very, very crucial. And if, again, I repeat, if you are a private practitioner of Ayurveda, BMS degree holder, it is very important for all of you to understand this today, because this will impact you in many aspects, right? And इसको करना कैसे, let's have an understanding, and there will be an email ID, although the last date has gone, but please, you can respond and you can reply. Tomorrow is Sunday. Take your time and at least reply to the email, whatever suggestions you want to give, so that at least we can have our voice to be noted in that body. Let's quickly start now. Yeah. So first, let's have quickly 2-3 points from the NMC draft regulations. Although predominantly it is for the allopathic doctors, for the MBBS doctors, we are not at all supposed to follow that. We are not coming under that purview. Legally, that is not applicable on us. But some indirect connections and some indirect linkage is there with us, which we need to understand. Maybe we can like address that, and we can discuss that with our respective council, that is NCISM, but that will make an impact to the society, that will make an impact at the ground level. I always say, एक प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिशनर ग्राउंड लेवल पे बैठा है, एक प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिशनर सोसाइटी के साथ बैठा है, उसका पूरा का पूरा अर्निंग, उसका लाइक वन प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिशनर अर्निंग इज ऑन द कंसल्टेशन ऑन द पेशेंट. So they are exposed directly with that. They are not getting any fixed salaries, they are not getting any support from any government bodies. They don't have any kind of security कि महीने का कितना पैसा उनके पास आएगा. That is a challenge of a BAMS private practitioner. And we always think that people should empower us, government, ministries, council should empower us rather than taking rights from us. That is our intention, and we will definitely take it forward. We will request them first to add these suggestions, if that will be, like, we have already replied, by the way, our suggestions and our feedback. So we will try that will be addressed, although we are not sure. But if it is if these regulations will come up in the way they are in the existing form, we will definitely like start a fight and start a legal then battle to get the amendments, because this is not the way in which we can accept all the all the draft points which they have drafted. Let's come to the point now. First point: in NMC, it is mentioned that for a MBBS allopathic doctor, now the prefix will be MEDDR, medical doctor. Okay, so they can prefix their name as MEDDR, medical doctor. Every self-employed RMP should display. RMP means registered medical practitioner under NMC Act 2019, means the allopathic practitioner. RMP does not means the Ayurveda practitioner or BMS. Okay, so MEDDR they will mention med doctor, and that will be like in their seal, in their boards, in their letterheads, wherever they want to mention, they can mention as a prefix. Can use as a prefix. Very good. But what about BMS? Because they are not the council, so they have not mentioned. And in our draft regulations also in NCISM, they have also not mentioned it. In fact, they have not mentioned this clause. So they should add this clause in the NCISM as well, that the BAMS degree holder also should mention MEDDR, right? So that should be equivalent, because the DR prefix, the doctor prefix right now stands hold legality with at least the respective degrees, that is MBBS, BAMS, BUMS, BHMS, BSMS, Siddha medicine. So, and BYNS for yoga and naturopathy, bachelor in yoga and naturopathy sciences, right? So, all these 5.5 year degree courses, people can, those who are qualifying with the internship and all, they can prefix DR with their names. So if something like this, MEDDR is getting changed, medical doctor. So either we can have medical doctor for us, or maybe AY doctor, that we are Ayurveda doctor. So it can be AY doctor or whatever, but it has to be like that only. That is one thing, because then there has to be some equivalent status for us along with the other counterparts as far as the allopathic doctors are concerned. That is one point which we want to make all of you aware. Now, second is the definition, as I said. Registered medical practitioner means who are in the national medical register, state medical register, but under national medical commission, that is for the allopathic doctors, not for us. Now, again, a very important point, that every RMP shall practice the system of medicine in which he or she is trained. Means they are not supposed to practice Ayurveda or any other herbal medicines, which right now most of the allopathic doctors are practicing, the liver tonics, the gynae tonics, the laxatives. So many medicines are there which allopathic doctors are prescribing, medical cannabis, many medicines. Technically, they are Ayurveda proprietary medicine or classical medicine. So how they can prescribe, how they can endorse? Many companies we have seen that they are talking to the allopathic doctors. They are coming on board. They are their videos are there endorsing a particular brand, talking about a particular brand. Many aspects are there with the allopathic doctors. In fact, many Ayurveda companies feel better, feel proud to associate with allopathic doctors rather than the Ayurveda doctors, and they do that kind of marketing. They focus their entire business to them. So how it is going on in India right now, and why it is going on, and why government is not seeing. So it's good that NMC has mentioned that, and we should all be aware about that, because if allopathic doctors are practicing, prescribing, by the way, any Ayurveda herbal medicine, that is not it's already there in the previous act, but it is now specifically mentioned in this particular draft, which we all need to understand and be aware about this particular aspect. Now, second aspect is many BAMS doctors are getting employed by the MBBS doctors, which is now will be not be the case, and they have clearly mentioned that should not employ in with his or her professional practice who is neither registered nor trained under the relevant medical acts in force. So maybe to the practice of modern medicine. So again, the point here is many RMOs, many medical officers being BMS are being employed by the specialists or by the allopathic doctors in their specific nursing homes, hospitals, and they are practicing allopathic medicine under them. So that is also not specifically they have mentioned should not be there in the future. So that we need to understand, and accordingly, as per the state now, I don't know if it is subjected to state, because right now the situation is we have a previous act as well which is subject to the state, and many states have allowed BMS to practice allopathic. So that will be again subject to the state approval. We don't want to argue on this. We don't want to have any. We don't want to create any issue on this. We just want to inform all of you about this particular aspect as well. Now again, uh, it's very clear that a person qualified in more than one system of medicine should decide which system he wants to practice. So अगर मॉडर्न मेडिसिन है तो आप मॉडर्न मेडिसिन प्रैक्टिस कीजिए एलोपैथिक, अगर आप आयुर्वेदा हैं आप आयुर्वेदा प्रैक्टिस कीजिए. Short course in other system of medicine do not qualify a practitioner to practice and prescribe in that system of medicine. Specifically in 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, this specific point have been mentioned again and again. So now either the mindset should be clear, and the mindset should be very very, because there are lots of confusion. On one side government is saying कि आयुर्वेदा का एक कोर्स, एक अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम एमबीबीएस के करिकुलम में होगा, उनका इंटर्नशिप में कुछ होगा, दिस एंड दैट. On the other side, in the NMC we see there is a clear mention that no short course is allowed. So means if somebody is MBBS and BAMS both, then maybe at their choice they can practice Ayurveda, but at that time also they are not supposed to practice allopathy, and vice versa as well, right? So that we need to understand now clearly. So means the more focus should be on, for a BMS should be on a Ayurveda practice. That is point number one. Now, those who are practicing allopathy in their respective states, again, I don't want to comment anything right now because we don't know how it will be finalized, this particular draft, and accordingly we can take it forward and we can see in future. Now, let's come to our council, that is National Commission for Indian System of Medicine. All of you can note down the email ID which is flashing on your screen. I repeat, all of you can note down the email ID. Let me just quickly type in the comment section as well, and you all can like, although the last date has gone, but maybe you can try if they will be able to take your suggestions. So it is in the public domain, by the way, and you all can please email reply on this email id. So that is, this is for the NCISM, so National Commission for Indian System of Medicine. Again, we appreciate the thought process. We appreciate the way they have drafted the entire guidelines, which is good. They have asked to renew every 5 years. They have asked us to attend CMEs to get the points, to get the credits. They have asked us to practice certain ethics, which is very good, excellent. We will all follow that. We will all respect our commission, NCISM. We respect the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, and we will definitely follow all the guidelines and all the regulations which are there. But we are confused. We are confused in certain aspects. We are confused as a private practitioner. I repeat, as a private practitioner practicing only Ayurveda, practicing only pure 100% Ayurveda, we are confused and we are scared. हम डरे हुए हैं. We are scared, we are confused, we are somehow unsure. We are not sure about our future, about our family future, about our earnings, about our incomes. We are very much scared and we are very much confused. Why? Let's see, let's understand. Okay. So no, it's very good that no person other than a practitioner having the qualification is recognized is allowed to practice Indian system of medicine as defined in the act and this regulation. Very good point. Excellent point. So please stop all the other non-BAMS doctors and non-medical personals, professionals who are practicing Ayurveda on newspaper, in television channels, in digital marketing, in social media, in hoardings, in many other ways. All of them are practicing Ayurveda, prescribing herbs, prescribing products for diseases, for indications, for many aspects, endorsement, Bollywood celebrities, cricketers, many people are doing that, right? So please stop all of them, because all of them by this definition now are not authorized to practice Ayurveda. So why they are doing, how they are doing in past, it is fine, but we congratulate and we appreciate our commission. So please have that clause as well. And actually they have mentioned penalty and clauses on us, but they have not mentioned the penalty and clauses those who will violate this, right? And for the companies also, will be coming on that point as well. Now the second point is use of generic name of drugs. Every practitioner should, as far as possible, prescribe drugs with generic names. Okay, generic means Trifla, Chavanprash, Dashmularisht. These are generic names. But what about the proprietary or patent medicines? We are confused again, because see, uh, either they should mention that when we are mentioning proprietary or like patent products, there has to be some clarification on that, because only generic medicine will not help in Ayurveda practice. There are so many permutation and combination, and there are so many proprietary and patent products which we all are using on our day-to-day basis. Because sometimes the entire classical prescription and the entire generic prescription is not at all, either availability is an issue, acceptability is an issue, efficacy is an issue. Many things are there. A potency of a herb is multiple time increased in form of extract, as compared to the raw herb. And many phytopharmaceutical medicines, many medicines in allopathic from the plant origin are like that only. We all know about certain examples, starting from the medicine of malaria to many other medicines. So on one side, definitely we want to practice Ayurveda. आप हमें आयुर्वेदा ही करने दीजिए. We don't want to practice any other pathy apart from Ayurveda. But at least give us some tools, at least give us some potent medicines, at least give us some strong medicines which we can fight with the diseases. Only with due respect to the classical medicines, only classical medical practice will not help in many acute problems, will not help in many issues. Along with that, we need to practice proprietary or patent medicines. That is the only way to do Ayurveda private practice. Many patients on our face will refuse to take churna, avle, asa varish. What to do? We have to give them syrup, capsule, tablets. Otherwise, we have to shut our clinics. It is a practical issue. It is a practical problem. I don't know if somebody is writing these guidelines. Have they ever done a private practice in Ayurveda? Our simple, humble request to you who is writing, who are writing these guidelines, please do private practice of Ayurveda for a few weeks and you will get to know the challenge. Patient will straight away say on your face, I don't want to take this powder, I don't want to take this thing. Please give me syrup, tablet, and capsule. And syrup, tablet, and capsules are not generic. They are with the brand name. We have to write a brand name. So what we do, because in allopathic they have a simple aspect of doing generic practice, because all these are in the syrup, tablet, and capsule form. All the generic medicines are in the same form. But in Ayurveda, the practice is entirely different. So please do not copy the guidelines of an allopathic and straight away implement in Ayurveda. That is our humble request with folded hands. Please do not do that. Please, first of all, involve private practitioners who are doing Ayurveda practice, the new age private practitioner at least, who are doing Ayurveda practice in the actual scenarios, and take their opinions and take their suggestions also. Then only if you are finalizing, then this point will definitely have issue for all of us. So please understand that, and we need to take it forward. Now, although sorry, it's a bit small, but I will try to read, and you all can get the draft guidelines from the website also. So we are not supposed to do any kind of advertisement, any kind of soliciting of patient directly or indirectly by a practitioner, by a group of practitioner. We can't name ourselves, we can't position ourselves, we can't specifically position any skill we have. कोई शाश्वत कर रहा है वो शाश्वत नहीं बोल पाएगा, कोई पंचकर्मा कर रहा है वो पंचकर्मा नहीं बोल पाएगा, कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. Any achievement we have, we are not supposed to discuss that. Any specialty we have, any association, any affiliation, any award, any honor we have, we are not supposed to reveal that. Self aggrandizement means we are not supposed to whatever we have earned from last 15-20 years in our practice, we are not supposed to reveal that. We are not supposed to say that to anyone, especially to the patients. So we are just a mere Ayurveda practitioner, that's it, right? So there is no differentiating factor between us and others who are doing practice. So then how the patient will like connect to us? So we are unable to understand this issue. We are unable to understand, and it's fine. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, we are not saying, we are not arguing here that we have to do this, but please have these regulations first for all the non-medicos who are promoting Ayurveda, from all the non-medicos who are doing business of Ayurveda, who are selling Ayurveda. So please have these for them, and then maybe we are also fine. So we are not supposed to do all this with respect to any drug, with respect to any procedure, with respect to any medicine, which is fine. We don't want to do that. But please have the same for the other stakeholders first. We have tried to we have tried to locate any document stating for the industry, stating for the non medicos, stating for the people who are promoting Ayurveda without a BMS degree, but there is no document. We are trying to figure out that. If you or if any one of you have, please let us know. Please email us. Please send us. We want to see any document which is there. But for Ayurveda doctors, for medical practitioners, for the private practitioners, there is so exhaustive guidelines that we can't advertise ourselves. We can't do any kind of video. We can't do any kind of like photograph, signature, any electronic print media. We can't boost our cases. We can't uh, claim any remedy. Okay, cure is fine. Cure is a very controversial word. We are not saying that we are curing anything, but we are managing. We are healers. We are healing mankind. We are healing the pain. We are healing the sufferings. So अरे इतना तो बोलेंगे कि हम healers हैं. We are healing the pain. So if a lawyer, if a criminal lawyer will not say that he is a criminal lawyer, how he will practice? If a software engineer will not say that he prepare and he make these kind of softwares and he have this kind of expertise, how they will survive? We are unable to understand. So what we are supposed to do then? So just saying that we are an Ayurveda doctor will not help. Nobody is aware in the society. On the one side, government should exhaustively market Ayurveda doctors in private practice, that these doctors are there who are treating and healing these diseases. But on the contrary, irony is they want us all of us to shut our mouth. So what exactly we are supposed to do then? Right, so that is one more issue, that entire advertising, entire marketing is not at all allowed for any Ayurveda private practitioner, right? Fine. So we can't print our photograph on on visiting card, on our hoardings, on our letterhead, on our signboard. So we can't do that. We can't appear in any TV program sponsored by us or any agency. So it will be considered as an act of self advertisement. Fine. So we can't contribute to the press articles. We cannot give interviews regarding any disease, any treatment. So that will consider as an act of self advertisement. Fine. So we can't do that, but we can maybe share our generic view on public health, hygiene, and we can deliver public lectures. We can give talks and chats on the public health and hygiene. But what about the diseases? Again, we are confused. Recently, one very famous singer died from a heart issue, and the entire fraternity of several pathies were being interviewed, and they were talking about certain aspects. So, definitely, we should also talk. So, if you are talking in that sense, please clarify, because public health and hygiene is a very specific thing. So at least say that for diseases, you're not supposed to reveal that treatment. That is fine. But at least we can talk and we can give interview regarding diseases in terms of the Ayurveda is swasthasya swasthya rakshanam and aturasya vikar prashmanam cha. And our respected prime minister and the entire ministry and everybody is saying that you should promote. On one side they are promoting Ayurveda, on other side you are asking an Ayurveda doctor not to promote Ayurveda. So we are again confused that what then we are supposed to do, what we are supposed to say. Yes, we can have our limitations, we can have our boundaries, that we are not claiming anything, we are not claiming that we are curing anything. That is fine, that is absolutely fine. But at least we can talk on the diseases, we can talk on the precautions, we can talk on the diet and lifestyle guidelines of the diseases. That should be allowed. But if generally it is mentioned that we should not give any interview regarding diseases, that is not at all acceptable, and it is very disappointing point to see in this. Now, thank you to allow us to run a shop for dispensing. So that is again is not unethical. So all the practitioners can dispense and sell and supply drugs, but it has to be brought from the market. Sorry, it has to be purchased from the company, and it has to be mentioned about the formula and the details of the generic names and expiry date and all. Fine. Now, gifts and commission. Okay, we are fine with this. Just I want to request my fellow practitioners, please avoid any kind of gift, any kind of commission, any kind of advantages from any kind of company. And specifically, there are certain platforms who are giving you these kind of incentives, these kind of giftings. Please strictly avoid that, because that is not acceptable now. And those platforms having their own products, their own sister concern companies having the products, please avoid immediately, and we respect this point and we definitely looking forward. Now, secret remedies. Prescribing or dispensing by a practitioner of secret remedy legends means pudiya wala practice is not at all allowed. Blinded practice is not at all allowed. right? So whatever you are giving to the patient should be having a proprietary formula, clear name, but exactly inside in the medicine, which is again a very good step, a very important step. We all appreciate and we all congratulate NCISM for this. It has to be there, and we very much happy to have this. Now, again, when you are dealing with pharma companies, Ayurveda companies, diagnostic center, lab marketing, and all, gifting, travel facility, hospitality, nothing is allowed. No travel bookings, no hospitality. Many doctors have visited locally, internationally as well in past. Please avoid now doing that. Any paid vacations, any hotel bookings, nothing is allowed for any doctor from a company, from a medical company, from a pharmaceutical company, diagnostic center, testing lab, marketing, sales company person. It is not allowed. Please remember that. And again, we appreciate and we respect this point, and we all are looking forward to follow this. Any cash or monetary grants, please maintain professional autonomy and all. And this is all very good, and we appreciate. But yes, the point here is we need to understand funding for medical research is allowed. So all of you are should look forward and do more and more research now, because that is one way in which you can increase your knowledge, in which you can get some kind of support for your setups, because in certain pathies like allopathy and all, people do that, and which is allowed. So you can at least get some kind of an infrastructure support. And we already had done some trainings on GCP, good clinical practices, on research, medical research guidelines and all, and we'll be coming up with many more sessions in future, that all of you can have the medical research background and the medical research know-how if you are still lacking. So accordingly, you can take it forward. Endorsement, very very important point again and again. I'm unable to understand. Okay, so you are saying a medical practitioner shall not endorse any drug or product of the industry publicly. So then, how a Bollywood celebrity, how a cricketer, how a religious leader, how a pharma company, Ayurveda company owner can endorse that? So endorsement is not there in the allopathic system for the prescription drugs. For OTC, it is fine. So at least please release a list of OTC and prescription drugs, which we are requesting from last so many years to the ministry, as our platform, as individual. So at least please, first step should be that these are the OTC medicines, OTC products, and these are the prescription products and prescription medicines. So for endorsement of OTC products and OTC medicines, I don't think so anybody has an issue. But for drug means, as I said, or okay, if you want doctors, we will not promote any OTC. We are not interested in endorsement of any. In fact, we are not interested in any kind of endorsement. We are fine with this clause. We again respect the mindset. But again, the point here is endorsement should not be allowed to anyone. The entire Ayurveda is being positioned as an OTC. पूरा का पूरा आयुर्वेदा अखबारों में, टीवी चैनल्स पे, होर्डिंग्स में, घर घर में, फेसबुक पे, सोशल मीडिया पे, हर जगह बिक रहा है एंडोर्समेंट। सारी की सारी आयुर्वेदा प्रिस्क्रिप्शन मेडिसिन तक का भी एंडोर्समेंट किया जा रहा है विद हेल्प ऑफ नॉन BMS डॉक्टर्स। then why only BMS doctors should suffer this? So either ban the endorsement for everyone, ban the endorsement for nobody should allowed to do endorsement for any drug which is there in the allopathic. No company owner of an allopathic pharma company say that take my drug and get relief on this disease. But in Ayurveda, so many company owners, so many non-medicos, so many celebrities, so many people are daily saying on television, on news media, print media, many platforms, OTT platform, YouTube, online, digital marketing, many aspects are there everywhere. D2C startups. What is D2C startup? What do you mean by D2C, by the way? The entire Ayurveda is D2C right now. So then please shut down all the BMS colleges. Please let close all the Ayurveda colleges, and let's like close this course, and the entire Ayurveda can be directly marketed to the community and to the people. So if D2C Ayurveda, on one side you are promoting D2C Ayurveda, on the other side you are saying that medical practitioner will not endorse. So if we are not endorsing, endorsement is going on from the company. All the non-BMS people are endorsement doing endorsement. And then what is the use of our clinics, and what is the use of a private practitioner? Because the entire Ayurveda, including prescription medicines, are available on 1mg, on Amazon and many other sites without prescription. People can directly go and buy any Rasaushadhi. People can directly go and buy any prescription medicine in any platform, na. So please understand these issues. We are very much with you. We are very much with our council. But our problem and our pain is when you are doing any kind of strict guidelines on us. In parallel, we will be very happy, and we should be very happy if you have any document for the industry, if you have any document for the non Ayurveda doctors and the non Ayurveda community also. Please have a document for our celebrities. They are not supposed to endorse anything which they are not having any idea. It's just placing a photo of any celebrity and you just endorse anything which you want to endorse, especially at least the technical drugs and medicines. So please have that in the system, and then definitely we are looking forward to take it forward and accept that. So registered medical practitioner should not publish photographs or case reports of his or patient without permission in any medical or journal, by the way, which is again fine. We are respect that. But what about the entire world claiming certain cure, the next point claiming cure to certain disease? Again, we are fine, we don't want to claim any cure, but please stop other stakeholders, please stop other people also for claiming cure to the entire Ayurveda. The entire Ayurveda is positioned as a cure for this disease, that disease, so and so. So what exactly then we are supposed to do? Anyways, so these were some points. There are some other points as well, but again, we appreciate and we congratulate our council to have these kind of a guidance document. We are with our council, we are not at all against our council. The entire aim of doing this session is to just share pain of a private practitioner of Ayurveda, of a private degree holder of BMS. So that is there. Now the problem here is there are strong penalties. There are legal problems. If we do any kind of violation, we are at a risk of getting our registration cancelled permanent in a permanent way, right? And there will be huge fine, and you can say in the first time of violation, the violator shall be fined with the amount of 1.5 lakhs and temporary suspension of the registration not exceeding 2 years. And in the second time violation, the violator shall be fined amount of 2.5 lakhs and suspension of registration shall have a permanent effect. First time these kind of um, violations, these kind of fine and strict clauses are mentioned in the act, right? So that is also we need to understand, which again is fine. We are ready to follow all the regulations, all the guidelines, all whatever the act will be there in the final shape. We all are ready. In fact, each and every word, again I repeat, and I want to do a disclaimer here. Each and every word which is written in the draft guidelines of NCISM may be fine, but that has to be applied to the other stakeholders equally. It's not that it has been applied to us and maybe after some years or maybe down the line gradually they will think of applying to the other stakeholders. No, as a private practitioner, if we are open and we are prone to these kind of aspects, the equal implementation and the equal imposition should be there on the other stakeholders as well in the fraternity. Then only it will make sense, then only it will make a justified document for all of us, that yes, the entire endorsement should stop, the entire marketing of Ayurveda, at least for the prescription medicine, should stop. Then only we can survive as a private practitioner of Ayurveda. Otherwise it will be very challenging if this the like we are afraid. And the problem here is, if these guidelines will come in the way it is right now, I don't think so. A private practitioner of Ayurveda will be able to survive. Sorry to say that, but we will try to fight this. We will try to get any solution. So, okay, so there are some points which are there. Please explain. Okay, so telemedicine guidelines for registered Ayurveda doctors. We already have one document when CCIM was there. They are not at all mentioned in this particular NCISM draft guidelines as far as the telemedicine is concerned. So we will definitely request and have a clarification. All of you can write. Let me just show you the email ID on the screens. So all of you can note down this email ID, and you can write to this email ID as far as any question, any queries concern. And OTC drugs are the matter of drug and cosmetic act. Yes, absolutely. We are not talking about Dr. Panchal here and NMC Act. We are talking about NCISM and we specifically focused on the Ayurveda practitioners. NMC, we are just bother about couple of things: the MEDDR prefix, the employment of BMS doctors into the allopathic hospitals. These two three things I think we need to clarify. Otherwise, we are fine, and we know that NMC is not applicable on us. Thank you so much for joining this session today, Dr. Panchal, and yes, Dr. Darshan Desai. We are very much equally like concerned that there are so many television ads are going on. So hope we are hoping maybe हो सकता है we are a bit early in discussing all these points, and maybe ministry and our esteemed council and government is drafting any guidelines for the industry also. Hope we will see that in coming days, which should be there. Otherwise, as I said, without that, it will be very problematic for all of us as a private practitioner to practice Ayurveda, and it will be a very challenging aspect as well. So the idea was to make all of you aware about these guidelines in today's session, and thank you so much for joining. And we are looking forward to have your suggestions and your inputs for all the aspects which have been discussed. I finally request all of you to please email on this ID, which is flashing on your screens. You can read the detailed version of NCISM and NMC. Both are available on the respective websites. Please go to the website, download the draft, and read the entire in detail, because there are some aspects in terms of the data like should be there for 3 years as far as your patients are concerned, renewal of your registration, attending the CME, getting the credit points, and many other aspects are there which are mentioned in the NCISM draft guidelines, which we again appreciate and congratulate our esteemed council for coming up with that. But the only thing is we have to position ourselves, and this is the era of Ayurveda, and our esteemed Prime Minister and other stakeholders in the government are very much positive about India to be a global hub of Ayurveda. So only confusion is if we are not supposed to market. So this Ayush visa, the medical tourism, which government is planning that people should come to India to get healed, how that it will be possible that if we are not marketing ourselves that in Ayurveda we are having these kind of solutions. So on one side, you are not asking, you're prohibiting us to market ourselves as a like practitioner. On the other side, specialists, mostly the specialists are joining academics. So there is a ground level problem as well. We need to understand and we need to accept that as well. So please give us protection. Please give us some regulations. We are again ready to follow the regulations, but do not on the stake of killing our practice. Do not on the stake of killing ourselves. A private practitioner will get killed. The entire practice will be destroyed if these regulations will come up in this shape, and there will be no regulations for the other stakeholders. And if all the other stakeholders will start, will continue doing marketing in whatever the capacity they are doing marketing, and but if there is nothing on that note, then I am very much sorry to say this. So please, this is a humble request, all of you. Yes, you can put your objection through this mail, Dr. Premista. And that was the only thing which we wanted to discuss. Please have a look on the guidelines. Have a great weekend ahead. And no, allopathic CMO does not have any right to visit Ayurveda clinic. The DO of Ayurveda is the responsible body for any district. Please be it clarified. So they are not supposed to visit unless or until you are practicing allopathy. You are prone to that visit. But if you are practicing only uh, Ayurveda clinic, as you have mentioned, so then allopathic CMO does not have any right to visit you or maybe take it forward. Absolutely, Dr. Darshan. Colgate भी Ayurveda word use कर सकता है. Many brands can use that. So, anyways, thank you so much again, all of you, for joining in, and it's always exciting and always encouraging to have support from all of you. It is just because of all your support we are able to do these kind of sessions. Already, maybe many people will not like this, and already we are not being liked from the bodies. That is fine, but our aim is to safeguard the rights and well-being of the private practitioners of Ayurveda. That is the only aim and only motto of starting Indian Vidya's platform. Nothing else is there in our mind. Thank you. Have a great weekend ahead. Thanks.